There you can see the runners getting ready at the start line, all excitement, head torches on.
Here's the line.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. All of our fans, let's do the countdown together. We're getting ready. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A road run there as they head off. You can see here how the race progressed after that start line. All the runners bunched very close together, of course, at the start in that road section, and inevitably as the climbing begins, the runners start to spread out as they reach checkpoint 1, the first of their many climbs into the race. They have to climb around 600 meters with their feet that they're pounding down that mountainside towards the image you can see there in the middle, which is of course checkpoint 1. Here they come. That I'm sure is Mikey de Moyantes, as I mentioned, the Australian runner in the lead, leading from the front as they approach the first checkpoint. A pack of 1, 2, 3, 4 of the male elites coming into the checkpoint with the camera crews running alongside them. A feisty opening to this long trail race as the camera crews await their arrival. There on the right of screen there, Mike. Nice bit of chit-chat. This is really probably better than the men. We often see the men
do this course.
Australia and Japan here leading the way, just as they did yesterday in the short course, and as they may well do for the rest of the day here, who knows, at the long course race. These two, almost 1,200 meters, that summit, which is the one they're all approaching now. The chasing pack on the right of screen in the men's division, slightly behind Hiroki Kai of Team Japan. We have Mikey de Moyantes of Australia in the foreground of the right-hand shot. Also the Nepalese runner Magaoka and another of the Japanese teammates, Goshi OSADA, and of course Team In of the People's Republic of China. These some of the strongest runners in the event according to the International Trail Running Association Performance Index rankings, the ITRA Performance Index rankings. These rankings are calculated by assessing the difficulty of any given race against the time that the runners take in any given race. And then the best 5 of those scores across a 3-year period are then runners in their respective countries. And just for interest, Mikey de Moyantes there, the gold and green of the Australian shirt. He's the top ranked runner in this event across male and female for the long course, with a score of 858, a very impressive score. Anybody in the 800s and above is really a hardcore trail runner at the very highest level. 858 for Mikey de Moyantes. Also in this chasing bunch we have Team In of the People's Republic of China. He has a ranking of 853, just 5 points lower than Mikey de Moyantes. Goshi OSADA of Team Japan, a team ranking of, I beg your pardon, behind Mikey de Moyantes. 857 his ranking, so just 1 point off Mikey de Moyantes, who's now taken the lead in this chasing pack. You can see on the right of screen, he's pushed ahead of those other runners. The tall, lean frame of Mikey de Moyantes stretching his legs, as we saw some of the Australian runners do yesterday, and get a better view. Oh, Hiroki Kai. Skip hopping, another runner. Wow, look at that. Flying through a Japanese teammate. That looks like Goshi OSADA on the left of screen.
He almost got it. Oh,
Japan.
Okay.
Indeed, yes, the Nepalese runner ahead of him, Rokamaga, flying past the camera on the left along with Goshi OSADA, chasing hard the lead 2 runners.
Yes.
On the bottom left of screen there, you'll see the name of Qi Min of the People's Republic of China in 5th place in the men's division, also pushing hard in this chasing group. But interesting, Selby, that chasing group in the men's, they all used to be together, didn't they, at the checkpoint? Now already we're seeing them all spreading out. Only Goshi OSADA and Rokamaga of Team Nepal are still running together. Everybody else now starting to spread out a little. So nice to see the sun just passing through the trees here. Headlamps are off now. Stashed back in the bags. Won't need those again today for these top runners. They're all likely to finish well before sunset. We recognize this scene, I think, on the right from one of the races yesterday, the short course race.
Yeah, we remember.
But Hiroki Kai really setting the pace here on the right of screen as they see a long descent ahead of them, which they'll no doubt be enjoying. You can see on the bottom of the screen here the elevation profile of the race. It's a long, relatively smooth descent at this point towards the second checkpoint after their strong efforts to get to the top of Chonghwan-san. The highest point almost on the race course, almost 1,200 meters. Starts to get a bit technical now for Hiroki Kai. We've lost that smooth straight line wooden platform trail. Now having to do the dance as he descends through this rocky section.
Well, I think he's really good at like balancing on the really like a narrow
terrain.
Oh man.
And here comes Mikey Demoantes right behind him. Gosh, look at that. He's somehow made up time. You'd never have thought watching Hiroki Kai go down that trail that he was running slowly, but Mikey Demoantes, and indeed Rokamaga, and indeed
they're actually flying.
Goshi OSADA of Team Japan, all catching him up on this descent. Despite his very best efforts.
I think it's same as from the short trail. Like a Japanese really good at the uphill and.
カメラ様してもコンタクト1個取れちゃって、LT4 とかのスタッフで時間あったら、宿にスーツケースの中にコンタクトできます。まあ無理だって間に合わなかったらしょうがないです。コンタクトはロング男子の部屋で、
ロング男子の部屋にコンタクトレンズね。
はい。スーツケースで紺色奥の部屋。奥の部屋で扉開けた。これ僕、これ俺。これいいな。奥の部屋入って右の一番右の紺色のスーツケースの開けたら網網のすみません。
可能だったら。
可能で大丈夫です。Okay, man, go, 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 go!
Your friends, spread the word, send the links around. Let's get more and more people enjoying the sport of trail running and enjoying this beautiful scenery in South Korea. Somebody on the live chat also asking if we'd like a coffee, Selby. Any requests?
Well, I have no idea.
Think about it. Nice to know people care. Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve. Very kind of you. I think we're okay for the moment. Ask me in about 3 hours when
Okay, yeah, after
our heads
one
are on the
hour.
table. But so far, so good. I'm sure we're not as tired as the runners. They've been off is allowed at each checkpoint. So basically 2 people per team just to keep things standardized. Try and make sure everybody's on a level playing field with the level of support they receive during this race. Back with the lead men here as they weave their way out of this checkpoint onto a There's Yuya Kawasaki of Team Japan also coming through. He's the highest ranked Japanese athlete in this race. Just 1 point behind Mikey Dimoantes of Team Australia. He has a ITRA performance index of 857, Kawasaki-san. Moving through the checkpoint now, filling up with some Pocari, some energy drink. And there we see 3 Japanese runners, Goshi OSADA there as well, moving out of the...
And another Japanese coming.
And this Goshi OSADA
Let's see how.
number 8030 also approaching the checkpoint, currently in 5th place. Will he also miss out the checkpoint, making it 3 for 3 on the Japanese team, managing to push through without any form of hydration? A message from Takeshi on our live chat saying, "Go Osada-san." Let me relay that message to him directly through the live stream. Gambatte ne, gambare kudasai. He's going and going and going, that's for sure. Just taking a breather on this short road section. But looking smooth and controlled.
Yes, almost a 5-hour pause already.
At the 5-hour mark. A question from our friend Steve on the chat group. He says, what's the temperature here in Ulju? Well, Steve, it's basically around 22 degrees, so certainly not as hot as in Hong Kong, that's for sure. And in the early morning it's been very fresh and ideal running conditions, frankly. But what's happened is, in the sort of mid-morning lunchtime kind of period, even though the temperature's not getting anywhere near Southeast Asian levels or Hong Kong levels or Singapore levels, it's nevertheless starting to get a bit stifling down in the forest where there's very little airflow, and also up on the ridgeline where it's very exposed and the sunlight is directly on your body.
Yes.
The athletes are starting to feel the heat. Just as a point of reference, yesterday I ran up the biggest mountain at the end of this race, Shinbul-san, and initially I took a windbreaker with me, thinking it would be sensible to do so because it was likely to get breezy, but that only lasted about 2 minutes and I was already overheating. So it was down to the t-shirt for the entire forest run up until the road, and only really at the top where the wind really started to bite did I need to put that windbreaker back on. So it's deceptively hot, I would say, is the answer. It's certainly not hot by Southeast Asian standards, but without enough hydration it can easily catch up with you, and that's why I'm particularly interested to see how these men cope after really not looking after themselves at the checkpoint. But that's what competition is like, of course.
Yes.
In their minds there is only 20 kilometers to go.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because like I know like they just like quickly came by, but not just like a pest like without any water fill. That's why I'm just like, how can they survive? Like it's 11 kilometers to the next
Very
checkpoint.
impressive. Equally impressive on the right of screen, Xiang Fujiao in the women's race. Fu Jiao on the right of screen, dancing her way down the trail, weaving her way through the trails. We're anxiously waiting for an update from our tracking devices to understand if Fu Jiao has indeed taken back the lead from Hao Ha-Ti in the women's division. Those two women battling it out like crazy through the middle section of this race, but Fu Jiao, such an experienced competitor, making light work of this technical descent on the right side of the screen.
Yeah.
Fu Jiao, as you mentioned before, of course, from the People's Republic of China, and a well-known face, not just in Asia, but globally, for her trail running exploits over the past 12 months or so, demonstrating her elite level running on the global stage, both in Europe at the UTMB races and in the US at the Western States most recently, where she's put in some stunning performances, second only in sort of global kudos level, I think, to Courtney Dauwalter at the top end of the women's division these days. One of the most recognizable figures now on the women's trail running scene. And only last week she was racing in China at a big race in Ninghai, where she won the 100-kilometer race there. So amazing to see her here at all, frankly. Amazing powers of recovery and tenacity to come back and take on this race so soon, but hopefully a reflection, of course, of the prestige with which many of the top runners.
네, 대단합니다. 자, 우리 아시아 퍼시픽 트레일 러닝 챔피언십 롱 80팀 부분 남자 부분 1위 일본, 2위 필리핀, 3위 네팔입니다. 축하드리고요.
We are inviting Japan, the Philippines, and Nepal winners of the Asia Pacific Trail Running Championship Long 80.
정말 세계 각국에 있는 트레일 러너 여러분들, 또 정말 대단한 선수 여러분들께서 너무나 아름다운 연합 알프스를 자, 인원이 많으신 관계로 양옆으로 잘 보일 수 있게 자리를 고열해 주시고 앞에 카메라를 가져가 주시기 바랍니다. 앞쪽을 보시고 자유롭게 포즈도 취해주시고요. 기념 촬영 진행하고 있습니다.
Feel free to make some gestures if you would like to.
네, 좋습니다. 아, 더 멋진 사진이 나올 것 같아요.
Looks lovely.